Steven Jackson and Stephen A. This is going to be where I think Kyrie is coming from and why I stand behind him and basically the other faction that's saying they want to play. This is why. First I'm going to address is Stephen A's basically saying work within a system. Use the power you have within the system to command change. There's totally nothing wrong with that. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Except when the system that you want to use has been so inept at taking you seriously inside the system that no change, if any, that you can recall as far as the way the league looks, ownership looks, etc., has worked. Again, that is a great concept. But at this time in America, and this is where Steven Jackson and Kyrie and these other players, this is where my belief that they're more right than wrong comes in, is that continuing to believe that something that hasn't worked is going to work this time or in this fashion is idiotic. And Stephen A., you're right. As a black man, you can say and believe whatever you want and mask it in the word plan. But that's a plan that has been beaten to death and has not produced the results. It has not. If you can go on anywhere and tell me the results that it's produced, good for you. But you won't find them. You're going to have to mask them in something else just to get them to bend to that idea that that's the way to go. Now, some players are going to go and they're going to say, I'm not trying to lose money when I can use my money to A, B, and C. This is always going to be the case with any sets of people. There are people who feel like they have more to lose when we all have the same to lose as far as who we are in this country. Now, if your pockets, whether you Stephen A. or LeBron James, makes you feel as though you can use that to get change when that has never gotten change in this country by using a system or using their tool, money, to somehow change a systematic and a DNA of something, then keep throwing rocks at that wall, man. Go right ahead. Keep thinking that's going to move something. But in my personal opinion also, you don't have to have a plan approved by someone else, Stephen A. You don't have to have a plan approved. Kyrie has a good enough plan. That's a good enough plan. He wasn't whistling in the wind, so to speak. He wasn't not showing his education. He was literally showing, and hopefully he's backed by plenty of other players, that he realizes that your ideas and the way that you think things should go have already been what people have been trying to do in different industries, including the NBA, including police officers that are black, have all made those same statements that I want to get in and change from the inside. It has not fucking worked. It hasn't worked. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. Why? Because the system itself has to have a volatile interruption, and not playing is a volatile interruption. And you're talking about money and all these things. Don't make these blanket statements. Just like you just said, Kyrie made the blanket statements and didn't have. You're making these blanket statements that somehow the millions of dollars that'll be lost will be mostly to the players. That's got to be relative, right? The millions of dollars that'll be lost will be somewhat of players' money, correct? But the vast majority of the lump, if you put it in the whole of the NBA, including the players' money that's lost, will not be the players. They're not. That's not even possible. So, if Kyrie's plan is I don't play, and you must listen, because it's one thing that Stephen A. did not address is the fact that you're talking about using the platform while you're in it, while you're using that system to play these games and be on camera when you have games and things like that. Easily dismissed if you're not playing a game or you're not on the court at the time. But you're missing that these players that sit out, they're going to get continuous coverage and continuous questions and continuous press, even more so than the ones playing. You're telling me that that's not a plan? You're telling me that that's not effective? Because just like an injured player gets questioned left and right, especially if they're star players. When you're coming back, how do you feel? It's going to be the same amount of attention to players who decided that it's so bad at this point, I'm not even going to entertain y'all asses anymore with my skills and my talents. And if they feel like the money that you're talking about that will be so much is not worth that to them, to continue tapping and dancing in a system that can be affected and affect other things and have a better conversation, have a more continuous conversation about it, in their opinion, to break that chain and force their will, I'm for it 100%. Don't play. Don't play. Don't play. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I do feel like some of that has to do with Stephen A's job. Your actual profession. No NBA. Guess what you got to report on? See, you acting like ain't no plan. Kyrie is intelligent. I don't know him personally, but this stance, this way to move is intelligent. And it's a better plan than yours. And it's a better plan than anyone else who's going to play and believe that it's going to be better for them and their platform to be playing these games and talk about it.